In this next lecture, I'd like to talk with you about writer's block, and more specifically, what to do when you encounter it. Hopefully, since we're to be talking about just beginning writing, you haven't encountered writer's block yet. But if you have, well, we might have to do something about it right up front. If not, you probably will, and we'll have to encounter it on down the road. So let's begin by talking about writer's block in general. Writer's block is, first of all, realize this, it's a symptom of a more serious problem. If you're not writing, if for some reason you're stuck, something happened. Something went wrong with your outline or your plot. Something's going wrong in your life. You're not getting the time to write. Whatever it is, something major has to be fixed. Now, the problem here is with any such problem, we can treat it through long-term therapy, or we can treat the symptom short-term. You need to treat the problem and get it fixed, whatever's causing writer's block, especially if it repeats. But in this lecture, I'm going to talk about some suggestions on how to address the symptom of writer's block. Let's go ahead and discuss addressing writer's block. If you've written yourself into a corner, this is one of the things that can cause writer's block. You get stuck because you don't know how to proceed. Your plot wandered down some back alley and you don't know what to do. Rewind your story to where it makes sense to you, where you went wrong, start a new outline, and write down a new alley. See if that one isn't a dead end. So this is the way to address one of the common forms of writer's block is getting yourself stuck in your plot. Here you can see that it's not actually writer's block. Writer's block in this case is just a symptom of plot problems. If you're facing a scene that you just can't yet write, maybe it's too emotional or it's too dark, maybe it's the murder scene and you can't handle those types of scenes. Those aren't your favorites and you're not in the mood. You're in a Christmas mood and you don't want to go down that dark path. Jump ahead in your story. This is one of the benefits to having an outline. So even if you're a pantser, if you have a rough idea of where your story is going, you can always jump ahead. You don't have to write chronologically, although I must admit I most of the time do that. I write from the beginning to the end. However, because I have an outline, I can jump ahead and I can skip scenes that I'm just not ready to write. If you're just being a snot, you just don't want to write. It's time to sit your butt down in the chair until you do. If you're feeling like you just are refusing to write and you're being snotty, it's time for a timeout. And sitting in that chair, you'll eventually get bored. And out of desperation, you'll write. You've got to force yourself to write sometimes. That's right. If you don't have a legitimate problem that can be addressed easily by taking a different way down the plot, then it's time to get rough with yourself. Unless it's truly time to take a break. If you've been writing too hard, if you're just burned out, it's time to step away from the computer or the writing pad and experience life. After all, that's what you're writing about. If you don't experience life, what have you got left to write about? The danger here is losing your writing time. You're certainly going to lose whatever time you would have spent sitting in the chair, typing away. But you could also lose your writing space or your assigned writing slot to just the overwhelming requirements of life. So this is a danger to taking a break. Anyway, I hope that this helps you with writer's block. I hope that you're not encountering it now and that it happens sparingly in your writer's life. But when it does, consider these options. Take a different path, force yourself, or take a break.